Allo. Albe be jibero la malum fo albe moy kan de sainte ning albe moy tan aliyem bonde kumpa. baraka wage lamin konde yo be confirmation wole inin kakam ala baraka bake assalamu alaikum bani wolo assalamu alaikum na UDP ko be mo be konton mo yalan ko be dawad running patiola alfalo na be konton mo tola ni konton la sanna collection fanam be konton sana jarai fode ari dambawol na be konton bayo sonko na be konton kew mo yalan ko be mo na collection la on the platform say mo be konton kew itola ni konton la killing na fali nyama rek saying watu muka soto bake bari ninga wati ni wonu kamendo soto beka la kata bake len ka wol kanana platform moto ka cha ko wala politiko wado sita saying alom mo bebe activate kanne ya ni bari mun kolbe mamman kan sa ko kiyam koldo do kam malan sinarek ngamo be kontom killing sita saying na meyolu na regional chairman olu na musuka folu kada nagay kompinyolti nse be kontong killing dulaw ton salpe kontong kew anin ka fu mobe ko anin bara ala baraka alin ambulo ka fu nyin kamala bela fremen 2026 bay balo ala se mbulo muta mbulo landa kan pro gambia se kende asoto gambia se sama soto gambia se nyato soto fox ni wo botegi me kajala do maning na kuwala meni alam ko wala beke kan bangko kan sa ko fang membe dending koleal la men beke kan bangko kan orang la kuwal lombang politiko la tanya lombang ada mo baro la masa kundala kuwalu se diamu nyon kuwal la demanding ning diamu ta banda wala ndo batake tan damen ton salon duwoto ngalundo batu nakacha mo ka may bage bawonin naran ka katale se mem kachano se wo kachani ngo kachal siji kumu be mo ka fono sako ku me alon ka banna fola e mo ka be fono watikle but yes na mo be konton mo be dawd running anywhere ibe jiwero la andi tembe na jiwero la fomo ngal be konton kew e mbadi ngol alenga datin na kurang la kuoto Gambia masakunda mang imam pare do ko la sai imam pare so be yala imam pare do ko wala iko Senegal wolle le Gambia supply no kuran wala all this while ba yalo Senegal kunu ani Senegal bi image client kunu Senegal membe nyaton ka yala ge wo mum molati me yalo wo fana mun na mansa sifalati makisala ye Senegal kala family business olati comme ko Adam Baro e Gambia ke baro kunda business oti nyamen ani ngatela associates close allies ila business oti nyamen makisala fa Senegal ke wala nyama bawo makisala tatala fo aya fa wajje ko Senegal mu ataleti ay ko mu fa Senegal wala belola so ba ko ma ila fo zandara moro lambangi ba ko ma mo be ba ko ma say ko fan so be ba ko ma bay kabri ala parera wato menna using molo taman fo ko pastor makisala bondita amang kolaya bondo ni jannata de ajakalta ay fero belandi ay ala fero landi ala fero landi ala la fero wala warta makisala la fero hani kan yero ay non bulum tana asamana Senegal ko yo boyndire o man sutiya ka paste fonje nimbe ay metandi wala nyinti ko mun ko duniya ko gele mukala ban ko ya dabe bandal adama baro la nyin jihadu men bebe la kan Gambia dingul kanante someday and very soon precisely adama la baro la nyin abekala ni tarikoti ku de keri me yalon ka kala bang bari men kum mayata nin ku be banna wato menna mo ka kata ite kana ke moti me yalon ko itele ke ku mojimi because ningi ka son wala wato wati at the end of the day menga kela wala you lack that sense of responsibility, that sense of respect Yemen deserve in the society. Ikumo ka jimena watu wati ihako boy ninyi watu wati mo be blo chodi dela ila sense of decency ika wole lost like completely wodum mangi harmadi ngola jiko nyana kala menka adama baro la masa kunda ila ka fundi nan ka kuma ken son fo Gambia di ngolye wala mu ka fanya fo nye abe ka fukan hansain ka brin 2021 kata fa wotan bida baro fundi nan ko Gambia di ngolye ko sain kuran ko fundi men ko man kaspa wasodo bari kuran o ita fala ko imam wala sodo so kaspa wa literally mo ka kaspa wa san sain kuran mukana ndola sandol doldo isa kaspa wa san maybe full day kuran motina iko sain combo men bije bolo nyinti ko atata le for like 48 hours kuram manna Gambia Bangkok kan doltara for 3 days or 2 days it man kuram soto Gambia Bangkok kan 24 hours kuram man soto Gambia Bangkok kan andong amanje ko for the kaspa wa songola amanje ko iman kaspa wa wafidla imman wole long bari ye kaspa wa sang abela mita kono kuramo mukana no Gambia Bangkok kan Senegal e ko wolle yela kuram la di kurang supply oni Senegal le akuntu beni Senegal ya akuntu Gambia dingolo atol ndol mbeni miro bekono mbeni wuro bekono mbe kumbola kurang kola molla business ol beloring both private sectors and government sectors business ol beloring business ol meni alon ko wol beloring kurang kam prieta mol be sirim bungo ne kumbola dol be je wol mukelano bawo be samala ko Gambia ka kandi nyame dol be je wol mukelano imagine mbo wuro bela wato mena wuro bebe ke ka wato mena adama baro ye mol siga ke samba state house do pukata ka kuma kunta mo fanye ko rek ka fanye ko na kunta ya bila mo aka futa kununti nem fale kana nyu wore wala those kinds of senseless talks afundi sanan ka renew to the Gambian people ni wato me yalon ko Gambia dimul sula da hope la wato me yalon ko Gambia dimul be dewndin ko la me yalon ko ila balwo be dende wala kan utumola mu adama ka futen kamol distract ka funtin kata kuma fonyi men yalon ko ite hani dindimo han dindimo me yalon ka kan nguluma imuka fo han dindimo me yalon ko kan nguluma imuka kuma sifa fo idala han dindimo men yalon ko be nguluma niyola imuka kuma sifa fo idala sisa sena bo habarka wake so distraction tactics all adama baro ni wala kana but unfortunately ning ananata ndol fanan kasi kan naka move instead of focusing on the most important things nka adama la wo destructive tactics all the tanieda yelo ngo ko ne ko ye Ramsi Jabi yolo ko mani nangata wo fanan ta ngamara fo ye basu bol fanan di wo fanan na bambe to wo fanan stata ka diam bari ga be membe je mo men yalon ko mandali batala men yalon ko mandali ka kalo ila ethics and ila principle values all kan wolte kala no moti men be kala no Gambia lonta walla and I will come there. I always say this mol men yalon ko kabring for like 20 years 30 years closer to 30 years now ibeloring value kam value me yalon ko ajarate puru yafa but ilawo value ning that good moral yawo muta ya keep within themselves for the betterment of the Gambia and the UDP party. These are the elderly executives in the party on Yonkon. Well, as I won't for all the times, whoever we might be, whatever we might think, until moment, I think we learn some values from these people. B. Ndolka kenyameng ning ayatra nungku ning alfalu bene wala nyama nungkuno. There is no UDP today. Certainly there is going to be no UDP today. But one, they believe in their principles. Two, to muke samba, palasi muke samba, daraja muke bandi noto. Ning darajo ka mo bandi noto, aka mo farati ni wala ka mo nyina nila komala. Alaji usem dabo tekala alaji usem dabo TV. B as again no afara because agula no ya jame no kam. He could have anything. He could be anything in the Gambia if he had followed Yaya Jammeh. He could have been anything in the Gambia. Ni Ayatanongo, he had followed Jawara time, because even Jawara's time, he has been one of the best politicians according to what we heard, even that time. But in Milwaukee, they stood together. They upheld their principles. Kabrin Jawara time up to now. That's very principle. That's why we had to count them. Killing. You muta nyame. You bunya nyame. You respect women. You la for be UDP ba from block. So what up? Mando londe. Barente be diam la watila. Wala sabun kanying alfalo. nkela kato aning alay ku menke nkela wo barako nyin ka recognize all the times bao nyim man ke kuti me yalan ka sone adale it needs a great dedication kaje ko mongo kanyin sifa kero but amanke dedication oda mati you must have that internal peace within you puruka wakeno bo internal peace ide wakeno la ning jamman sereya fitane se sene afolo kuram problem o beke kan Gambia Senegal yela kuram kontu kurante Gambia bari fanya membe nyin ko nyimbe ko ma adama fundita ako Senegal ye kuram nan kam won na weke menta Senegal block no Gambia mantara be use kan no fam Gambia mantara be use kan no Gambia had a reserve for about 27 megawatts adama baro da ay memfo wom kuram ti me alon ko ako mu sembe tara woti koma wo be jele pour dam baton ti atun wala wati ha sana jaji wala ti atun wala wati wo be koma la ka Gambia baton bari ma jele fanyani afundita bande yalon fanya mo kame fanya ta mo kame ni amuta ya dabal atemela do fontila nambant adama ala ko kuntawol misinformation o imagine fontila nambanda and sadly ni muka adama ka fenti muka worry but même fo bala fa whatsapp bit men be adama no ka yamira non ko mo kendo long ni muka wol fa lu malu ndenga mera ninte be mo no kan sako alpha president wato wata ka fontin ka kuma fonye mi yalon ko mo ke man soto. He continues to play with our intelligence. Dengan bilang dia nak bawa ada makan ni. Bim, jumalai beson nunggu betar telefon balo-bala. Member ada masuk support on some of these lies. Han mal mira moba attempt to be defending these lies of Adam Baro. Especially yung kurang kuanya. Iko saying Senegal yung kurang yung tale saying. Gambia bulo tu takun. Dama jele mul besi dengan go kurang sot. Loptano do mul befale go kurang sot because mo jele operation ko na along kay banda within these 48 hours. Lack of electricity in the Gambia. Molbe kere minyang ke operation la kurang matara wo operation no yin kono ke banda jeto alman ne man ka faro kala wolbe adama baro sonta aman song ani wolbe be kidio kundala lakira bar mol mentra nyimbe je ngam hanen be NPP ni ayatra non control ngana banko kanu nga political understand ngon kan suma Senegal then we have to understand what you call patriotism ka banko kanu nga wo kanu bankatambi to be loyal to one single individual. Saya koi ibota Senegal bawo Senegal look Senegal masa kunda nyi menna pastef ñu man na fiala de ñu man na fiala hani ye koy lota ñu ñame ñu buña ñame yela patio la hayra ci ñi ya buña ñame ibalo na ko ñu man na fiala wala sabu ñu they are not going to leave any useless business transaction ada mo baro ni Macky Sall menke me ala ka mo Senegal ye favor. These people are not going to leave any of those transactions undone. Iba bela cancel la killing. Iba be cancel la killing. So literally, it's taking their electricity because world government is there for the Senegalese people. So the satisfaction of the Senegalese people first before Gambia. Are we going to blame Senegal for that? No way. Until the Senegal blame la nobola. Masakunda nata ni masakunda kendodi. Illa banko eka wolo follow makwe. Illa banko more satisfied. And I believe UDP masakunda nata this is what we are going to do. Gambia first before anywhere. So Senegal, pastef government, wali la kurang utale. Ka Senegal dimul supply kurang la kwenye naka kurang soto nyame. Dola hamentam masakunda. Desan. Imo ka malufango ka bareng-bareng dula do kula basic things many along ko si banko la kodota akadon di aninkila ideal use ka will do solve. Ipe bareng-bareng na dula beto. Iko saying itata jine bisao. Saya taruh kurang ini na Gine Bisau. Saya ini taruh kurang ini na Gine Bisau. Saya bilang kurang ini na Gine Bisau. Malong wolfanam be kontra ko jelle dilela wolfanam be jelle la le kan kita na julota na Gambia ke julota ko ka wokurang ni jo ba be julola jol Senegal la ni julo man be la nan den ni million man be la nan den they are going to pay that and ya no beta la nyame if don't roll kala probably domestic boro ini bola kala ka julo ni ta ka jo ka Senegal masa kundala ko do ni ta ka dira ha Senegal masa kundala ko do ni kata ka dira pour ya Senegal jol say ko kata jinele malon ibiramun contract si fala kala jine but ninga be ay metan wala mu the amount of corruption member na government institution ko member na masakunda kono tinyaro ni sunyaro member na masakunda kono ka gambia dimul filige moli tara halaki kam itol mo ke mira fenna foi be gambia dimul women be halaki kam ba wol sunyala nyame ni wonta julu membe Senegal ning Gambia tema kura wala ko moli jakalo mensodo it makes sense ba Gambia dani ko kura use ite ka kaspa wala sa prepare long e ka kaspa wala sang pour ye kura so say ni mol men yalu ko bolel ka kura jani wol ka jole janni ka kura so woko do ni menya nakata ka joro ke kura ni masakunda ka bondi damendo ye ko do ni murundi ke woko do ni kata mon jolo this is the question mo bege mo ni kamen and mol ka masakunda ni kamen but you know what masakunda na ta funtla na nyina ka fundi na kweka nyin ko wala address ko woko do ni wujulo ni kanata nyaati le ni fundi ta nan fana media muta den wo be expose kula le because be silolo yalla mo le pour mol madam be fahama ko nyin kono it all comes to light but nyin be ay maytandi wala mu Gambia sulo nyin pour ka je ko adama baro masakunda nyin ka bondi Gambia banko kam 2026 baro masakunda ka bondi Gambia banko kan 2026 saying aketa wajiboti aketa farloti Gambia dimo beka adama baro masakunda pour ka bondi Gambia banko kan aketa farloti Gambia dimo beka bataka ta damento wote mo karla adama baro la masakunda bataka ta damento te mo karla bawo molbe donkan ne every single day adam baro la masakunda ko hanni ayatara i manke mo kalamati na society kono bari molbe donkan ne every single day adam baro la masakunda kono with the desire pritol fana yela share so na Gambia masakunda la ko dot ina sabu ni member fala mi ka fa ko ke ni member fala ite fala ko ke ite fala no peace ko hako membere ya so ninga mira nun ko mongo nyumen ya lon ko be no dunde kan masakunda la ranke so ro ka je ko to fana yeta so na mansa bulo kono be fianna de it's not going to be easy so bari sako funding ke kunda dol Gambia tinolo alinga katabang na banko je let's look at the bigger perspective Gambia banko be sulari munela at this point because the crucial stake le nothing is moving banko kan fe mantara move kan bawo nin kura mo masoro number 1 development on to lafta ko wodi nyame what possible la no Gambia banko kan fonse kura won fa so to follow janne be mira la development dollar kura won so wala so to follow janne be mira la development dollar basai nin kurang fo mo so no Gambia banko kan hanni se mun idea la soto no matter the innovations or the innovative ideas ite ye men so de ko no to you know I'm planning to go and implement in the Gambia it can all because in generation Z la initiatives or business ideas or most of them needs 95% electricity for the operation on in smoothly you need those online transactions you need all those wireless transactions pour gaje ko mungo ila business on yeta no ko mungo ila faita nyame pour ye profit on yuso noje so without constant electricity or without a proper electric supply Gambia dimolu sem ideal sort of kono but they will never be able to implement those ideas at home and this is one thing me along ko Gambia be lakange but adama baro man la fi Gambia dimolu succeed you know what ning Gambia dimolu altara fu al comfortable tabake drum al basu de la ko mansa furu ni masa kendolu mone mo la differences ti masa furmo e basu de la nyaadi le mone mu criteria di be masa furmo su de la nyaadi ngena sabu adama mo la fi Gambia di mo mel be Gambia ye daha Gambia banko ay daha mo yetu suffering e bajala ni wato mi alon ko ate sula talla already ay ala weakness olonne wala mu konkole be molla batale be molla ay na weakness olonne ni wato mi alon ka sula talla alla fasaro la by force alon ne abe mundo le chukutira wala mu abe manol le poslal kan ani domoro nim fenkol ngo 2026 alam fana ngake foroti bang alenga ke forwati bang nganda bota ngasoro karero kanana mani boto kanana atondi le sisewolo kanana suguro kanana alenga nda bota bang ngasoro bang nga adam baro la masakunda bang ndol manke danka tolti but sanjil nani ibe bata kono bata me yalon ko itele yalon ibe bata sifa men kono sanji kilingo boy sanji lulu njamoy dati fo ay lafika bang kari fula kari kiling yede sambana ngi koy ka suguru boto le dila pour yenyi ne le sanji lulu kole a bela sanji lulu kono i borinta imam fensoto yedani roke imam fensoto yeta lopital moto imam fensoto hani plastamon imasoto yebobo yeta private hospitals. In those private hospitals, even mere consultations, they charge you pay a consultation fee. Yebona boto imam kendeyano yebodo imam fensoto yamuru mansakam imam fensoto the moro ito fula the new mantanu school the ndindol kakino befata bagwe duma silola all these things nganyina nyimbela sanji lulo la bantulato yemani bodo di la yengina nyimbela kew hani dingol men fon banta bagwela yewol fongol disregard yewol fon la freo nyin kamfandi bawo bolom wot kolay momen demu bonite demu dara nyi duma silola alma lay ni man ka fo ke be but wodi no le tan nyi duma silola jella ka soksi wala ka do ya sa ko say ngamra last week lo mo baje kan janko denden ta woro wala banta bagwe wo denden ta woro la bango ali hani message o jele me ala ka botna state house. It all comes down to Gambia dingol ngam fongol muta nyamen nyulbe mon muta la wala nyam imagine men ko mayata adama baroy katamsi jab samba state house o nyin kono karaka kuma kunta hol fay kawol kalo state house o nyin kono ka kuma kunta fo molla alfalie kalo state house o nyin kono ka kuma kunta fo ko akata loptano lo state house o nyin kono look mona fo essence mek nyaadi la wo fo essence mek nyaadi la aviti be banjo wo loptano mi alon ko atebe capital o kon state house o ni aviti ke moy munesi hanni Chinese or kate ni ko be loptano lola state house o nyin kono ati se tan Chinese or ko mungo it is not necessary there loptano ita blato to men sulata aviti bigi borum gastro fam gastro men yalon ko ni jade ji fango glove for a patient nani lulu woro sebe attend using the same glove amangi fendi for glove la so da balia basic needs so men yalon ko supply wala nyana katar advocate wol fawol mu gasodo no so misplaced priority la mu bekala wala but nyimbe ay meta di ndol Gambia di won ngam famuta adama baro nyama ngado mutala wol nyam ala ngalon na ground kam fumol se foraya ala nga foraya ta over tilikilingo ila satisfaction o wala no kare kile nyandi dum be banda nyi bagwe ni ayata nun ko fango adama fango afisata do mandinge ay nyato ngaya la siro fango do manim babala e ka fura wol fango la wol region o nyi tol because most of them are from the same region wale kilal kije pati majele menu la sayal fisala taliye imagine hana fango mam futa noje aka mollel kije alaji be kabrin 2016 ne mol banda tumunda fonse bulata yefa but him funding care many along they could have been the future of this country. They all perished in the water, in the sea. And the man defend dalilo momenti dalila follow momenti me ye dum ni joni ni tara wala mu kolayat e be kala fu munela ye alfa al bondi kolaya ni kono. Personally, I don't blame anyone. I could talk to you in a way but understandable, but to say I blame you, then I'm more blame la no wala. Kolabro momo kay tulal yalo Gambia be nyamen kolyamen bije men be system o nyun kono je wala yalong sa ko fang funinke merela kolya be do wala ka bawo ni karanta ijita you cannot have work ite do ku sotola ni karanta ijita ite do ku sotola hanni do wol fang soto do ko ni ke jo jella. Now the younger ones tends to compare this ila salary with ila fulong meni yalo kamo ke babantala. Bah, ni mo be funding kaya tembo do hamu katra warari. You know, so all these things nyimbe mo ko let meni alon ko nyana kay discuss le back. Ka ni be jona ne say just let yem bono kumbare nga linko ki yama. Ning yes, ni be jona just isa bono kumbare nga linko ki. Bari Gambia be tembo mendo alenga wuli bangalo. Alenga wuli ngalo. Aling being pare ni mo se sacrifice no especially ndol meni alon ko be diaspora ja momo se sacrifice no ali nga sacrifice ngata nga register ning karte fayo ni registration o sita ning karte fayo fana sita ngata nga karte ni tanga fay fatu mamira diaspora be karte fay la diaspora ja the zoo government ya lot ne ko diaspora is a no-go area for any nonsense politicians. Diaspora manke diaspora manke voltati. Diaspora manke voltati. So diaspora take a file no most likely. But what can we do? What is it that in diaspora we can do to change the narrative in the Gambia, especially to have or to make that positive impact in the election outcome in the Gambia? We need to sacrifice. We need to sacrifice a lot. We need to sacrifice a lot. We need to, ngata Gambia ngan register ning voters registration time mo sita ngata Gambia ngan register ning ka ti fayo nyim fanansita ngata Gambia ngan register sabe kala tanin na let but I just a Gambia di wala because Gambia banko bula Adama Barrow block for the next 5 years is going to mean Gambians are going to die of hunger on the streets. Gambians are going to be walking, dying on the sea. Gambians are going to die every single day because of hunger. Adama Barrow the next 5 years, I will mean na Gambia. Ni Adama Barrow lota no misali fi fango bawo amang qualify for purkalo. But ni Adama lota no for the next 5 years. Adama e Gambia nyaton kaya for the next 5 years. Gambia bandale. That is the end of Gambia. That's going to be the end of Gambia. Iba olon na nyamen ajibe bi situation o benyamen ajibe bi molla level o benyamen ajibe bi molla balu nyalu benyamen near 2016 adama kana wato mena yewon in 2021 yewol compare ibajela ko the amount of increment menketa Gambia di mulla balu wala kolayat. Now project that to 2021 to 2024 today. 2021 and in 2024, near compare, and you look at that further adjustment of the increments in the livelihood of the Gambian people. Ibalo nako ni Adama Tambira for the next 5 years again. Gambia is doomed. So nya mulu katale ye dali situation mola. Bao mona nama mirako mano be futala wili saba wili nani. Mano mona nama siya mirako mani bodo be futala Gambia wili nani. Hanni ayata nungo mola salary muka fancy ka muka ta. Ala fonga Gambia dema. Bani wonte mulbe barula no nyaadi law banko. So mul katale ka dali situation la foi ka jeko mungo, this is our fate. And you never can Gambia amanje ko mobe mo ko le asude but mobe ka asude. But mul katale ka dali situation la and they accept that situation to be the fate. Waka sabung ni na ta fongo to be talking about things many alongo it only what they deserve in their lives. Well mula constitutional rights already for them to be able to have access to those things. Facilities. Ikaje ko yemo politician already. Yemo politician already. Alin na kana engage by. But wo politician wol. Wole beloring ala lungo kaje ko kabalu kendo sambali na especially the United Democratic Party. Abenjakal labage 2026 presidential election. Nga parti yoje me ya lonko ibelala Adama Barrow kam même manke Amadou Bala wo mo saba patrioti wallanto Citizens Alliance wo mo fla patio wallanto aning just down control parti ron ben ya lonko ye palasol di la Henry Gomez wallo tonkol men ya lonko ni la mo solda mal ba patiot but nga political party yoje me ya lonko is about to be formed. Wallanto is a political party mulye menje ko mungo party kendolo membe joina Adama Barrow la masakunda kan kaje ko ka chance di Adama Barrow la NPP party la to form another front alliance again ka Gambia rule again for the next 5 years. Goben surprise la bakel bawo Gambia ba ko la yari nyame anu ko la nyimbe da fo ay dula belema ibe santoro ibe kombo ko la yakele membe jam wala be jam ibe private sector bang ibe masakunda do wala bang ko ya kelu membe ja wala bija so dama kalon mune ba sabu na mobe lole ka ke si so timpa ko ka NPP le fasa ite be wo NPP si timpo la ni dara su kono ye ko ro tare nyaado because yalong family to be menga ku ya family to wala mo yada su ko ya tara ko ya be ko ya me yalong ko ifo ya joko inyan na ka bondile anditel la do ko mu pruka ni ko ya nyindang bari ma sembo soto sembo banda fero banda ma ko la ma soto menyan na ka kuwol soni andial kan wala mo masakunda Senegal mange masakunda fure wala asa this past government will do everything ka joko Senegal ni Gambia la close relation la close ties mas makisala la corrupt government ye membe samanang ya be bondi and they focus on Senegal and the welfare of the Senegalese nationals. Pastef wanata do wala again this afternoon ngaje ko Pastef fanango ila manu kanyin nyim mano mel silo kan den basalt iko ila mano nyim pro kana Gambia imba be stop kanne because ikana do wala Senegal fankon ko wala masakunda so saying Gambia literally manu mana mateng atadu na Gambia because Senegal is going to stop it and kaje ko ka Senegal dimolu ani Senegal banko ko kana do wala so literally I mean wala mu the welfare of the Senegalese nationals first before Gambia supply. Are we going to blame Pastef? Let's say blame. Pastef de Senegal in Pastef tambeni. So Pastef is for the Senegalese people and not for the Gambians. Of course, but it's a market. But Pastef is the main priority in the Calamenti, wala mo Senegal dimult. And they are doing that. May la kurang ya samba, kurang yung karakilo be, ya be di la Senegal. Ya sambe ya di Senegal yel hanni ala na fon amanke ni julo fon nim Pastef yela ko da Gambia bulokan nyin kambala ko Senegal ko ma wolle sino so why would they have to supply Gambia? Of course masakunda kendo be nyanda wala kala masakunda kendo be nyanda wala kala masakunda kendo be nyanda ka wala kala because they are serving the Senegalese people. It is the Senegalese people many alongo they paying taxes, so what tax you must return back to the taxpayers in a form of services. There are so many deals. There are so many nonsense deals. There are so many nonsense deals. Many alongo Adam Barula Masakundaning Makisalaleake. And this Pastef government will unravel everything. They will take it back. And that is what every good government should do. Masakunda kendo ni na deko leke. Ila banko dingul number 1. Ni ila banko dingul serve no for I will see for to da. Ni be dol mako le mako sa ko ni menmu ika funya dile ke ni menmu nebo sol. You know? Sa ko ni menmu nebo. But in the Gambia, look at our government. Ya jele kabri Senegal yo crown kuntu Gambia what women. The whole of last week these people, they are aimless. I don't know, they are aimless. I wonder, Ning Ayatra Nonkomonko, she telephone as a cabinet. Kajekomonko, how Gambia be independent sort of Gambia be self-dependent sort of on electricity, self-independence on electric supply. Whether they will go, try to figure out the solar system or use labang, or lancho dam system or use labang, but Gambia mukemira opera. Ni Senegal se kurang no for Senegal can supply and kurang. How about ni Gambia from a ways find out to be able to have our own electric supply? Ni Gambia kum control kanya tong kurso no minya long kila akilo nyin tamandi. Wala be kala Gambia la first priority. But since 1965. We cannot blame the First Republic because First Republic, ya kumasela from scratch. And according to what we heard, aning albeka memay, alfalka koinso ikaw la kafunyokang. People used to go karakoda rokoda dalas tala nitarang ke kafunyokang kasamba kake bangkola ranke sokano. Come on, well mange fiala juwai, will new wall yo dalaso nintala nitarang so yo kafunyokang. Yesilo pay from Combo to Basse. Yesilo pay from Jara Kanaki Jara Damato. Yesilo pay from LRR la follow Kanaki for na LRR la Labamoto. Yesilo pay handling ayatra nunko ekeda beroleti. But these are the people me anko e foresol le tay, ye foresol le tay, ye berol tay, berol B, ya julma bosol kang. E man na dangole ye bosol kang na bosol men kabore. Using those dalasis taransu tala mulka ben kafunyoka. So First Republic did exactly what was expected of them. And I think they even did it extremely well. First Republic. Now the whole problem starts Second Republic. Yeah, jamena time you be manke kuti many along ye be plan and long-term plans. For 22 years, it never happened. It was never part of the plans. It was never discussed. It was never part of their long-term plans. Me complain na wala ya jambe botaje. Little did we know that we are now dealing with a devil incarnate. Adama Barrow. So saying, yala wala sabu hadama demo ni be bi ko neka sama mira. Kabiri Macky Sall, when Macky Sall was dealing with this Pastef, showing them that he was the president, Macky Sall be Pastef tala be Tochola, locking them up, killing them, shooting them guns, you know, ke bunkilo la kefa. Adama Barrow was in the Gambia, Barola Masakunda be Gambia, supporting Macky Sall to further suppress some of the Pastef supporters many along they were living in the Gambia. Even Mayor Double Station, when Pastef did it against Macky Sall in the Gambia, na polisolu many along fambula kulong ye wol muta yesoro. Pastef noticed all these things, and all these incidents are still very fresh in their minds. They know this. So Pastef is not going to, it's not going to be a business as usual anymore in the Gambia, between Gambia and Senegal. No. Of course, when it comes to understanding, when it comes to bilateral relations diplomatically, yes, most of things will work still because we are neighbors. But let me tell you, Pastef is not here for joke. So namasa kunda fa yolo na fema wolo. Imagine saying iko bortale Senegal water kura sotlo. Senegal will never give them the electricity anymore. Say body jele ko itara muntodo Guinea. I don't know, like is it Guinea Conakry or Guinea Bissau? I think it's Guinea Bissau. Kabirin Gambia, Cabo Gambia, Kajompi Casa Masla, Kajompi Senegal. No. Yeah. But it's very sad, man. It's very sad, folks. It's very, very sad. You know? When Global Landi, Ben Chairman Okondabake, Chairman Yanks Dabo, and Alonga B, he's having great guests, many Alonga, but now from Senegal. I think about 4 or 5 different mayors, many Alonga, they are from Senegal to, and they're visiting him right now at Brigama Area Council for bilateral ties. So it's a very impressive thing. Obey I made and the Wolonyintiko, UDP Masakunda, another Watila. We're going to have a very good bilateral relationship with Senegal. And this relationships is not just going to be Senegal a benefit, but it's going to be equal and mutual benefits. Aliajele Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda also went to Senegal. He went all the way to Senegal with all the KMC councillors and in the KMC, is it MPs within the KMC region? They all went to Senegal to discuss the same fantastic ideas, bilateral cooperations. So ni UDP Masakundana Ibajalako is going to be very good at Betiala back in Gambia Bankola. Bao UDP in Pastef, Yenyomo Ibagale. The histories are very similar. Even Ayatollah Nunkon na yellow book. Baba Fongo Mensafa Blola. Alaji Usendabo Mensafa Blola. That yellow book is the book that Pastef, Yemen study, your master, they understood it and they respected it, they applied it and it worked for them. Yellow book. Me alongon Alpha, the greatest of the greatest. Alaji Usenu Numkunda Dabo Buko Mensafa Blola, Pastef yo Buko Nyen ready come for the yellow book. Nemo Molafta yellow book on it's in contact, well, lay more contact here along UDP diaspora. They will show you Basola Nyame, Namara Military Spain Congress, Latorial neighbor Cabasola Nyame. But that yellow book, Baba from a Mensafa Blola, Wobugo Pastef yo Lakaran, ya understand, and they applied it and it worked for them. It's gonna work for UDP too. Now the idea itself is UDP's. The wisdom itself is from our dad. Alaji Ushenuda. Bari? Yalong kuwo ku ani awatolo. kuoku aning awato lo awato mansi hanye munake ita futalawa bari wato be sila 2026 ning abot alabala kila hormat wato sitale 2026 kaje ko Gambia de mulunga na nyokang. Let's put aside our individual egos. Let's put aside our differences. Ngana together and form a bigger force. Kaje kombe Adamabaro uproot Linyamen come 2026 and we save this country and we bring back sanity in the Gambia. Insanity mana Gambia Bangkokan, that country is doomed. The level of insanity ngamenye Bangkokan is really concerning. Akajara modio kubela. Somebody may alonko have lived almost 3/4 of their lives on earth. Yabe balu already. Akajara for them to lie to their teeth just to be able to have 15% of life being meant today, most of which honey get a millionality today. It is all because they don't have the strength, they don't have the energy. Imawo balo fongo to be ibela balo fongo enjoy la wokolo ni bela nyame. Does it really want it? Does it want it? Does it want it? So if I tell you purka what insanity in kau bonding na bangko nyingkang, we must have a government. Mealonko is going to be headed by a dignified people like Alaji Usenu Dao, a dignified elders. Mealonko, they are not in love with money. They are not in love with position. They are not in love with power, but they are in love with one single place. Alaji Usenu, I will tell you today, Alaji Usenu is not in love with power. Ning ayatara nungko Alaji Usenu is in love with power. Alaji Usenu daji go falinta happening 20 years to 27 years ago, 28 years ago, because this year UDP is 28 years. So Alaji go in falinta nung happening 28 years ago, momi alonko yake, the leader of the biggest political party in the Gambia. Alaji go falinta nung. But kabrim wolungo fobi many alo ka faga fongo jiku kemenna every single day. The quality in his leadership grows every single day, day by day, up to now. So when Maitan Komongo, he is not in love with power, but he is in love with the Gambia. Our concern moment Gambia. And this is the concern of the UDP. That's why when you read our 5-point agenda, you clearly see the visions and the missions UDP men put on paper. That is what they intended to implement in the Gambia. And it will be implemented. Mavo is all going to happen like very single or same year. But look, development of Benjamin, you do your long-term plans and your short-term plans. So your short-term plans, you focus on those things, making sure at the same time, long-term plans are well projected and guarded. This is what UDP did. So that 5-point agenda would have saved the Gambia a lot. Gambia dignity in Membe, Luz Kabin Jawratamo. The 5-point agenda contains almost all of it. Our dignity is brought back, Gambia, and then we, move forward. So, Alaji Usenu manke mo demi yang kawe sembo dokan. Sembo mankala problemoti. Sembo mankala problemoti. Sembo manke Alaji Usenu la problem. Palaso mankala problem. Palaso mafaling. Sembo mafaling. Nafulo mafaling. Alaji Usenu biya betembo mendo. Nafulo mankai fenti. Nafulo da falin nano. Mo mi alon kala balu ke fasaya furana nyi sembo alhamdulillah. Amon falin no wato mi alon ka be na falin tanong wotay mo ala faka ka fongo fenti ala faka balu ke nyamen abakala wala nyam. Because he had that energy, he had that fame, he had the money, he traveled, he is well educated. So he could have done all those things. But I'm afali, and this is the kind of leader that the Gambia needs. Gambia sulata nying keba sifal. Gambia sulata nying alpha sifal. Membinala, palaso te falina. Most importantly, palaso te falina. Because when somebody becomes the president, Dola Gambia context, the person is at liberty to implement any laws as long as wuluwaning man nyan makatani parliament la executive power movement at the president when you sembo so kawake wala sabu kabrin adama barwanata anding momo makeno ay bebay because he had that executive power to sack, and to appoint. So we need a leader. Nyatonko, Meyalonko, he is not going to be in love with power. Ninka malako ala anim mola personal difference o wallanto ala sembo atawata ala kabanko nyin tora. Adama baro ni UDP latinya ay banko le tora. Ay Gambia banko le tora. Ama UDP tora ay Gambia banko le tora. You know why? When Ahmad Sani was there, Ahmad Sani la vehicle policy and so many other financial restrictions ay men put in place to be able to make sure Gambia economy fully recovered from the looming bankruptcy me alunka nyatli na nung Gambia at that time. Ninko nung Ahmad Sani those financial restrictions you will apply no. It would have been a different story today. Alaji Musiano, Biriya Bondi, Janika Bondi, some of the best deals. Adama Barola Masakunda, Kabrin 2016 to now, Aka Fonsi Shokumani Fengofena. The best deals are being negotiated by Alaji Musiano Ahmad Sani. Imagine New World continuing no Masakunda Dokola for the past 6 years. We would have expected them to even make it more bigger deals. May Alonko obey for the interest, for the benefits of the Gambia. You know? So wala sabo, you know, Alinga Lonko, we have Alaji Musiano behind us. So we just have to focus on Gamul Sambana. Nanana Bena Pationing Bay State House on Sotlanam in 2026. Alaji Musiano Numukunda Dawa is behind us. And therefore we must come and rally behind this candidate. And we go to the State House 2026. We have the best candidate. Mayor Lonko, every political party is thinking of having, is praying to have. And I know that UDP, like UDP is the luckiest political party in the Gambia. More Mayor Lonko, they have a lot of there. So said why what? For Allah say a continue kaso sima bala ani jati kende bala ala sa tangka adama barola sembe furuma ala sa tangka adama la fera furuma ala sa tangka jawol la feruma bawo ibe ko kuto ito la konsan mo fengo fendi wala mo alaji usentu wala sa adama me de no fada kanata you know. So I don't know if I yalong kalbe Europe. Concern Gambian protest beke kam me yalong kalbe takela European Parliament. So in concern Gambian protest, they are protesting against Adama Barola Masakunda corruption, miscarriage of justice, me yalong kabela kam mulkang, especially Ibrahim Ajiba, Chairman Yangs Dabo. And ala witch hunts abemena on the UDP executives, ala dead threats against lawyer Usiano Numukunda Dabo, the corruption, the corruption, every single day corruption member in Gambia, especially the most recent one, Russian oil owning, ala muso me alonka, manke masakunda do ulati, amam palasuro masakunda mukajo kodila, wukata kamola Gambia la tulo, Gambia la tulo ta aka wafin Russian kolma. Fatmata Babaro. And so many business criminal associates of Adama Barrow. You know, Gambians Mulka celebrate. And even Watson Gambia, I have seen Watson Gambia posting these philanthropic gestures, so-called philanthropic gestures, every single now and then. Watson Gambia Katara Postka. But what they do not know, let me say one thing here. Ikatawala bang fame kataw mumokas akunya celebrate. Dulkaki hadang road we know. But look, there is no single criminal. Me alonko akemabo behind business. Amukake philanthropy. There is no single criminal hiding behind business. Me alonko, they do not bring back some form of gesture. They do not attempt to be buying sympathy from people should in case ilawo business like ilawo illegal business nyintara exposed. Ikakodonyi mendi is a kind of buying that sympathy in advance. Ikakodonyi mendi is a kind of buying your loyalty, buying your souls to their side in advance. You can ask anybody. You can ask anyone. This is what they do. The Ndarante family, Italy la war cartels. I would suggest Ali buko nyi read Ali alo membeje albalo na membe ke kan Gambia. Ni adam baro fulta nyi banko kan albe ku jama balje la mi yalon ko mona ne mira be ke kan ha. Ku jama balbe don na yina sabu nga boli na foreso kono manga mankunda na lawo haftan buburu mo me yalon ko hana sida sirankan na be wulla haftano ni julol ka jolam. Sai wo kan yin dani kan ma badu aka fa ngoy ko nyinta dana bara ma mel non ko magesa law sidi moroko la ndan ron nin ko do men bebe fundi kan and many more to be uncovered ni wo be fundi da ade sila moroko ade tay ko to dina fa ba sa bala sa masa fo sambi sa foras lo man Nigeria lo foras boko haram be dalo beluasi ta la jeto. Anyway ala baraka comrades senior Idrissa Sanya baraka wage fansila sise nasi saya benyadi Sirif abang abaraka bake ala baraka mo si thank you Mariam si ala baraka bake sister Sena ninjai sister si abaraka bake lamin konte ala baraka bake ngamo be kontong be melto jekang mantala menu tol jekang ngal be kontong bimba programo nyimba dane janneto makata la sama be fungo yalla line yalla be telephone fungo kala ka fanyani open line discussion o kala sa be telephone no bani pina nga open line discussion okay mul se call ke isela kuma kan fona ni la fraka melo fo isela mirol fona la fraka melo fo be nga kacha nga nyoso wo hakilo nyen bawo nimma mamma ndrong ate ben nimma mamma ate ben wala muto nyati nimma mamma ndrong ate ben na banko be tabo mendo it's very sad na banko la situation is very sad bawo 21st century ninto la banko ndol mo kam mira fendo la meni alonko these are luxuries in life but ndol kam mira kono fon be sukila nyame kono fon be domoro keno lan kono kono nyame in 21st century. What is a shame? It's a shame to this millennium. It's a shame. Ndoraka mira domoro sokla nyame. B dunia bete momento Gambia moke mira fenna fo mbe domoro kelan kono nyame. But namasa kundal muko fo kenonye they couldn't even do that for the Gambian people. They couldn't make that possible for the Gambian people. Pour Gambia dingolo bi ibesiri nte nyame den ikane mira sami be men domola. Ekane mirebe men domole la bal wokono say but ise mira fenna me alonko ibe mo business ifa degella ibe mo stivale kala kaje ko kado ku jama create ibe mo industry sifale fontendina wala ibe mo factory sifale yella but in tolkan mira mo la samam be men domola kabrin Gambia lota fo bi 2024 hani bi dolak miro ka kanyene samam be mo domola amasoni yano fo akakole akuke nyame wallahi akakole akuke nonto wolka do ko ke sembola. And they were able to, survive on that. Because he would have doko ke mol belief na yana ko doko ni ngoda malse balondino. It worked for them. But be ajibe because of civilization, dolka na school, dolka mechoni, ni mechoni ni school in be, you be mo katano ni economy man bete majale, ni mol jide mo ka doko soro han mine doko soro ko do ni ka meso tike kamukesi. Amukesi no so han sai mola miro nyinkan ko ke mira domoro samenya makamendo won miro nyi jaw ya kuta billa katambi kununa so wala la banko kata komare se kanyi membe fanya na nyin central bank la nyin focus tani la wo analysis abe fanya kense ka fanya ko na economy is doing well na economy be do ka well pound bi dala 100 to 100 roga say euro bi dala ba futala almost 80 euros $80 mana say 1 euro dollar bi dala for 60 something say yamre kam non fondol yo muto nyaati ning banko la economy be betiaring domoro molla lungolum balube lori menuka wala folo daka soneya wala mu domoro mano wala mu mano sukuro jabo tulo bade bu mafon la wolse sise wala faje bawo kabiri wala sise bu do domo dati bitunga ban ita hangle ko no tambade bu ke ma sise bu do ke je sa boy ko manga tala fi joko nale you know so but nyina mutu nyajin you know nyina mutu nyati you know so nyimbala fa wortale Gambia bi ndol kambira domoro la samambe men domar comme gonde be sirinde nyamene samambe men domar sa ngamira wol muna mula miro setara nyinkang nila miro be lore nyiko nyin kay be mira la muna la ko teke bawo kono wala fon beti nun ka surprise ni data bandala bangoldo ito fon ka bodi kana si restaurant do kaw fensuma ning wo do masival ni do fal ko last time ye Ibrahim Sankara ta si danan you know because kono la problem wonum but libe Gambia they don't have that problem because bankola ko do be to len block no ya sia nyote mako ila faka sia me nyame it's a shame really you know bari ala baraka bake say ko nyin ka danjam nga mol bula mol be sale be konton alama sudo to diala alama bulla kayra la kila kon ko so mani ale ni osi ama sama fana binala le mbaka jani mbaten ten dale kabo jam na pabila misiko do manin play